Many people lost you because they lacked awareness. And they made very, very strange decisions. I'm hearing strange, not even bad, but strange. And I feel like it was strange to you because it was foreign. It's something that you would never do. So when you were stuck in these relationships in the past, you noticed that, you may not have noticed, but some of you may have noticed that the person that you were in a relationship with, they had really questionable decision making. I wanted to say skills, but that's not a skill. Is it a skill to make bad decisions? That's crazy. But that is wild. Well, their choices, their decisions led them, I heard, to militia, to war. Their decisions led them to war. Not in a way of goodness either. It's unnecessary. I'm picking up like unnecessary conflict. You know, there's some people that just love to argue for no reason. They just find any reason to argue about whatever. They just want to argue, right? And that's what I'm picking up, this type of energy. They just want conflict because they strive off of it. They feed off of it because they have to feed them demons that are connected to them. They have to feed that negative energy, right? So they were being used because they chose not to think differently. They chose not to think outside the box. I'm hearing their mindset is so restricted that they couldn't even allow themselves to think differently, because every time they started to think differently, they pulled themselves away from it. Hey, I'm Mystic Alchemy. Thank you for being here. Hey, soul family. I forget to say that sometimes, even though most of you know me, but for those who are new, hi, nice to meet you. Thanks for being here. Now let's have a healing conversation, okay? So that was the problem. That was the problem the whole time. You know, you're trying to make the best decisions for the circumstances or for the situation to be improved, enhanced, you know, encourage positive energy into the relationship. And yet you have so many people that you've dealt with in your past, regardless of what type of relationship it is. However, their decisions, they didn't align with you. So that causes conflict because that person is not equally yoked to you. So it's best to be about those who want something in life. If you feel as though you are someone who wants more in life, and you know that you have goals and you have plans and aspirations and you want to leave a legacy, things of that nature, you know, you're not going to be around a bunch of individuals who just do nothing all day. Because that's not even your thing. That would aggravate you. People who appreciate the work and understand the work and where it takes you, the action. People who take action are not going to be around individuals who are not action takers. So those past relationships, they didn't work because you have been around many individuals who are not action takers. It was their choice. They chose not to be, you know, and that has nothing to do with you. It's just that you may have been trying to stick around for someone who wasn't ready to take action. And eventually, for those who have moved on from these types of relationships, you noticed that certain people don't want to take action. They're choosing not to, and that is their will. But that's not what you're not on that. You're not on that frequency. So being that you're not on that frequency, you know that relationship has to be severed. Snip, snip, right? Because what is the point? That's a waste of good energy and good times. Great value. You lose great value being with someone who chooses to walk with no value. You lose your own value. Because when you're around someone who's a thinker like you, who takes action, things grow. And it's not difficult because it's within you. The desire is within you. So things are going to grow naturally. However, if you're around a bunch of individuals who never do anything that consists of growth and change, then that is a perfect environment for stagnancy and latency, delays, right? Or just a complete standstill. Have you ever noticed, like, the energy, because I see this so much, that when certain people are in some type of relationship, they don't do things that they actually want to do off the strength of the other person. And it could be because you don't want them to feel left out. Or it could be because they don't want you to, and they're like, I love you so much, I don't want you to go. But then it's like, I have to go because I have to do this, you know? Can you support me in this? Because my soul is crying out to me, right? I'm saying all this to say it's easy for us to lose track of where we're going when we try to accommodate someone else's needs way too early in our own journey. Because remember when I said in one of the previous readings, your cup has to be overflowing for you to be able to give or share your energy with other individuals. And it's also important that you make sure that you're sharing your information, or not really information, but your energy, let me just say energy, with those who know or who have a desire to increase and also share their energy with others. And you want to make sure that you're sharing your energy with someone who is just not like an energy vampire, because then your energy is going to go to waste on someone who is too weak in spirit to generate their own energy. So they have to pull on everyone else's energy. Because there's some people who have trouble being alone. I'm hearing. And those people who have trouble being alone, they'll want to pull on your energy, but then they also take you away from plans that you have, goals that you have, an appointment that you have. It could be so many different things. It's just the point is they pull you away from your value. They pull you away from what enhances your stability, your mental stability, your spiritual stability, even sometimes your physical stability, right? It's not healthy for someone to just want you to be around, but then there's no growth in that place. It's just like, it's almost like you're being held hostage. I heard held hostage at will. Held hostage at will. And that's just staying in those relationships knowing that they're not good for you. That is you being held hostage at will. Because when you really decide that it's no longer valued, or it's no longer acceptable for you, you can't stand it. It becomes a really big problem in your life. And then you have to make the decision to make the moves to make the change for you. Because many instances in life can hold you back from where you truly want to go. The key is to recognize those instances and not allow them to completely control your circumstances in such a way. Because you really prevent yourself from the happiness that you are destined to have when you allow individuals around you to really take you away from your true path. So there's many individuals that you were with that really make bad decisions. They didn't make good decisions. And many of you may have been connected to this person at the wrong time to then also reap their karma, not even knowing that that could happen. Maybe you know now, but maybe you didn't know when it was happening before. You were just moving from a place of love, but you had given more love to someone else than to yourself. And that caused an imbalance, not in the relationship only, but also within yourself, within your own energy. So when you're not balanced in your own energy, you're automatically going to feel uncomfortable. You're going to feel off balance. You're going to feel regretful. You could even start feeling resentful. So being around someone or being in an environment that you've already grown out of can definitely make your heart heavy. And this is one of the keys that needs to be unlocked in order for you to make sure that you are balanced. Make sure you are answering your soul's cry. Because you can't just avoid that cry. Anytime you hear anyone cry, you can't avoid it, really. It's really hard to. I don't know how some people do. Well, actually, I just heard a spoiled child. Some spoiled children do cry. Okay, I don't know why this is coming out, but it's about parenting. But some children will cry and cry and cry because they just want what they want. But it doesn't mean that it's good for them. They just want it. So they feel like if they cry loud enough, then they can get it. And now I'm being led to my nephew. Okay, he's 4 years old now. When he was about 3, he would cry a lot to get what he wants. Sometimes he does it now, but I check him and I tell him, just because you're crying doesn't mean you're going to get what you're not supposed to have. You know, you have to tell the child, you know. You don't even have to yell at them because they understand. Children are smart. And then he's like, okay, TT, you know. Oh, it didn't work. It didn't work. You know, and once you correct that, then they know, okay, that's not going to work. You know, that's not going to work. That's not going to work with my TT. My nephew knows that. So the crocodile tears, the fake tears, just to get what you want. Trying to have candy. Waking up out your sleep for Snicker bars at 12 midnight thinking you're going to get a candy bar. No. You need to go to sleep. Tomorrow's another day. You see, little things like that. And that's just an example. But then you have those around you who will cry like that with the fake tears. And it doesn't necessarily have to be physical crying, but it could be arguing. It could be pulling at your energy, just trying to get your attention in any way because they want your attention and they want what they want. It's not about what you want and it's not about what's right. It's about what they want. So just as a child will cry and cry and cry to get what they shouldn't have sometimes, because sometimes tears are for a reason when there's a problem to fix it. But then sometimes tears are just to put on a show to see if it'll work to get what you want. It's also reminded me of a child that will go to one parent, you know, in a 2-parent household or just a 2-adult household, whoever's in there, like maybe an aunt and a mom or a father and an uncle, whoever the adults are. When the child is close to those adults in the home, if one adult says no, they'll go and ask the other one, because that's just how it goes. It's like they try to finagle to see, you know, how can I do this? Okay, how can I get what I want? That's the goal. So it's up to you to recognize when someone just wants what they want, but there's not much benefit in it. However, they're pulling you into what they want, even though it's not good. It could possibly be not beneficial to you or them, but they just want it. But they don't have there's no rationale behind it. Like, what do you want it for? Why? That's like somebody saying, I want $1 million. Oh, you do? What you gonna do with it? Some people might not even be able to answer that question. At least know what you want to do with it. At least have a good plan, even if it doesn't go exactly how you plan, because you never know when it comes to God's plan. You know, something could be flipped and twisted and you see something 100 times better than what you thought. So, you know, it really just depends on how you see that part there. But yeah, right now, Spirit is equating your past relationships to the mind of a child or the mind of someone who could be very manipulative. And that goes to show when individuals want what they want, they could not consider themselves manipulative, but become manipulative because they want what they want. So they're trying to bend and change the situation to make it work for them so they can get what they want, even if it's not good for them. Okay? So that could be applied to many different areas, because there's many things that us humans want, but it's not good for us. But it doesn't stop you from wanting it, not unless you recognize why it's not good for you and you become aware. You see? So that's what Spirit is talking about here. So be mindful and recognize, like, when someone is just pulling on your energy, they want you to not go on and be great. And they find every reason to argue with you, bicker at you, annoy you, stress you out, where you just feel like you need a vacation, where you could just relax and not think for a second. Just meditate, just feel. Instead of think, you could just feel. Sometimes we don't even recognize that we're numb until you recognize. And then when you recognize that you're numb to a certain circumstance, you realize how miserable you are when you're in that space. When you want, once you get to that space, you have to make the proper decision for yourself so that you can give yourself grace, because that's also a space where you can start to fault yourself. And this is my fault, I did this. And yeah, it might be your fault, but don't just stay, at least, okay, know that. Now what you gonna do with it? Don't stay in a place where it's like, oh, it's bad, and then it's just stuck there. No, what's the next phase? Keep going. Don't stop. Keep going. Don't stop. Keep going. Don't stop. Okay? You gotta keep going. That's how you get past the hump in the road. Because you feel like you can't go any further because it just hurts. So you feel like you can't move. But you can move. That's an illusion of thought. It's confusion. You can move. You just have to one step at a time, one foot after the other, or one thought after the other. Either way, you're still moving. Okay? No matter if it's you moving in thought or if you're moving physically. However, when you move in thought, that movement in thought turns to movement in reality. It turns into action. Because everything we see, everything we feel, everything we're around, everything we experience was a thought first. And then the thought turns into reality, and action was taken. So that's why you're able to enjoy so many different things, because we are looking at what has been manifested through a vessel that source energy has chosen to create said thing. It's amazing. Just thinking about it like that, that is amazing. Even me talking on this device, this was a thought first, and then it was put into action, planned out, put into action, implemented, tested, and moved on to the next phase of deployment. And then now we all get to enjoy it, right? It's a wonderful thing, and that is just life. And once we recognize the power that we have within and our ability to make great decisions, and also better decisions than those that we ended up having some type of relationship with, no matter what it is. When you see someone that doesn't make good decisions, doesn't it make you feel like, oh my goodness, I wish you would do better? However, they have to choose to do better. If they don't, then it's like, okay, you have to wash your hands with it and let them go. Because they're not a part of your master plan. They're not a part of heaven on earth. They're a part of chaos. They're going to be left behind when the new earth is created because they chose not to grow. It was a choice. They had no desire to grow. So then they don't get to have you. They don't get to have you in their life because they can't even handle someone like you, really, when you really think about it. They can't handle someone like you But then at the same time, they want you. They can't handle you because they don't value you, so they don't know how to take care of you. But then they expect you to take care of them. That is not reciprocity. That's not reciprocal. We can't have that. That causes imbalance. That causes disdain. That causes a heavy heart. We have to walk away from the loops of the heavy hearts. You just have to walk away. Okay? Once you learn the art of walking away and detaching, you're going to feel like $1 million. Whatever that feels like, $1 million. You're going to feel like $1 million. Can you feel like money? Can you feel like money? You out here looking like a bag of money. You know, everybody likes money, right? They like it. They like it because everything that it can get them. It's nice when you have a better relationship with money, though, because you start looking at money different. You look at it in a way of a tool and not just, I don't know, frivolously. When you look at money as a tool, I think it's a good way to change your relationship with money. I'm just thinking about that, like, because it is a tool to use in life to enhance your circumstances and create a legacy for your family and for your future, so that you could create something that will be here when you're gone, when you move on to your next phase of your journey. That's true wealth. I believe that's true wealth. When you use money to create something that's going to be here when your vessel isn't here anymore and you've transcended, that is true wealth. Yes. Is there anything else, Spirit, you want to say? I don't know. Just steer clear of anyone who has malicious thoughts about your circumstances, about themselves, you know, because if they're not willing to make the changes to heal their mind, they have no place with you, and you have no place with them. They're just going to hold you back from what is yours. Okay? Let me get a charm. It's a black butterfly. It's time for you to spread your wings and flutter where you wish. Where do you wish to fly to? Just fly, fly, fly far away. Wherever you want to go, go there. And when you look at a butterfly, it's so light, right? It looks so delicate. That's your soul, light and delicate, and ready to explore. Have you ever seen orbs? And they just float around. Woo-hoo. They're light. They're not heavy. It's time to feel that lightheartedness in the vessel. Once you feel light in your vessel, you are connected to Spirit. Wow, Spirit, that's nice to say. And I get it. Let Spirit speak to you. Let Spirit speak through you. Because when you just allow the words to flow, and when you don't reject it and like stop yourself from saying it, your ancestors speak so eloquently and with so much intellect. And they're learning from us just as well as we learn from them. And that's the beauty, because we help each other in such an amazing way. And we could do the same here on earth. In our vessel, we can help each other. That's what we're supposed to do, but we've been taught to fight against each other. And that's not the way. Now, not saying if someone is against you to try to go make peace with them, because that's when you get yourself in trouble. If someone doesn't want to rock with you, let them rock on. Just away from you. Okay? That doesn't mean you have to play nice with individuals who choose to be your enemy, because that doesn't make much sense, does it? So yeah, that's the message. I hope this message gets to who needs to hear it. And Again, thank you for being here. I love you all, and everything you do, do it with love. Always remember that the creator is in you, and the magic is too, because you're magic. Much love to you. I'll see you in the next video.